Tasmania, a rugged paradise brimming with adventurous possibilities. Located to the south of Australia's mainland, Tasmania is renowned for its unspoiled natural wonders.
Conservation and sustainability is the beating heart of our business. We really try to imbue that in everything that we do.
Today, we explore the vast and varied landscapes of Tasmania, a place that has been home to the indigenous Palawa people for tens of thousands of years.
You have nothing to distract you, you just have the peace and the tranquility of the wilderness.
We'll meet some colourful characters.
We just love seeing that connection between wildlife and people.
Plunge into the unknown and find connection in its ancient landscape. Get ready to experience Australia. The first stop on our journey is the Tasman Peninsula in the southeast corner of Tasmania. Originally known as Tarakana by the first people of the Tasman Peninsula, the Berjerami, this rugged network of perilous sea cliffs is unlike anything else in Australia. Robert Pennicott has been operating tours along the coastline between Port Arthur and Eaglehawk Neck for over 20 years.
Pennicott Wilderness Journeys began in 1999. I used to take friends fishing with me and it used to blow them away, the coastal scenery and the animals. I started with a little 12-seat boat. I took 1,200 people in the first year, and now 23 years later, we've now got 18 boats and we take about well over 100,000 people a year. We take you underneath some of the highest sea cliffs in the southern hemisphere, into caves, up against blowholes, and share it with the locals, which is lots of dolphins, seals, and also birdlife.
The rich abundance of marine and bird life is partially due to its close proximity to the continental shelf. Here, the water is shallow and nutrient-rich, and the result is a biological smorgasbord.
You never know what is going to happen on the day. You might get orcas, you might get leaping whales or dolphins. There's just so much to see.
Just beyond the peninsula stands Tasman Island. It's home to the Tasman Island Lighthouse, one of the most isolated lighthouses in Australia. The lighthouse is fully automated now, but during its heyday, lighthouse keepers used to manage livestock on the island, including horses, sheep, and cattle. The island is also an important breeding ground for a number of species of seabirds. Robert and his company have a personal connection with the birds of Tasman Island.
One of our first projects was contributing to the eradication of cats on Tasman Island. They were killing around about 50,000 seabirds a year, and now about 10, 15 years later, it's just amazing to see the tens of thousands of birds that we've saved, and now we're even getting some species that weren't there at the time that we first did our eradication. And it's just amazing to come past every day now and think there's no cats on there.
Despite leading tours in the area for over 2 decades, Robert's deep appreciation for the beauty of Tasmania is stronger than ever.
I don't think we really take it for granted what we do, but it's very obvious that when we take people from all around the world and Australia, that we've got something special. The real salt air, the really beautiful, pure, pristine environment, the national parks that we travel alongside is something that people don't get if they're in a city. And then to have a team of about 120 staff who follow the journey as well and are as passionate about it as I am is a very special place to work.
Situated off the southeastern coast of Tasmania is Bruny Island. This small region is renowned for its delicious produce and pristine natural beauty.
I'm Tonya Cochrane, and I'm from Inala Nature Tours on Bruny Island in Tasmania.
Tonya worked as a marine biologist for the Australian Antarctic Division before starting Inala Nature Tours in 1994. While living on Bruny Island, she slowly accumulated enough land to start her own botanic garden, which she opened to the public in 2014.
We run wildlife tours here and natural history tours. We often talk about the supercontinent Gondwana. Tasmania is very important in that context because it was the last bit to break off about 45 million years ago. So we thought it'd be kind of cool to grow a few plants to demonstrate that Gondwanan context, and here we are 750 species later.
Gondwana was the supercontinent that existed over 180 million years ago. 23 million years ago, Gondwana ceased to exist as a geological entity, but today its legacy remains in the fauna and flora on the southern continents. One of the most ancient species on display is the monkey puzzle tree, which coexisted with the dinosaurs more than 150 million years ago. Its spine-like needles provided a natural defence against ancient grazing animals. But plant life isn't the only draw card of Inala Nature Tours.
Tasmania has such rich habitats, and Bruny Island is like Tasmania condensed. So it's a wonderfully diverse, rich island habitat, which is why we are so famous for our bird life. So we're famous for having all 12 endemic birds that are only found in Tasmania, all present on the Inala land. And so the 40-spotted pardalote is the most known because it is the most endangered, and many people come to us just for that one tiny little bird.
It is estimated that there are currently fewer than 1,000 40-spotted pardalote birds in the wild today. Their drastic decline over the past 30 years is attributed to habitat loss, predators, and climate change.
Inala has an incredible hide that Tonya has built, which is really just a platform. It gets you up to 4 meters high amongst the Eucalyptus viminalis, and that's the specific tree that the 40-spotted pardalote needs to feed on. And they don't mind at all, so they're flying around your head. And with such an endangered bird, it's just an incredible experience you can't get elsewhere.
In 2018, Tonya also started the Inala Foundation to protect wildlife and help regenerate endangered plant species on Bruny Island.
We're trying to save the world in our own little local way by concentrating on species that aren't doing very well in the wild, particularly those that are affected by human interference or climate change. Conservation and sustainability is the beating heart of our business. We really try to imbue that in everything that we do.
Just a 10-minute walk from Hobart CBD, at the very end of Elizabeth Street Pier, you can step onto a piece of genuine Tasmanian history.
So I'm Julie, I'm one of the owners and directors of the SV Runner H, which is the oldest and smallest operating tall ship in Hobart, based right down the end of Elizabeth Street Pier.
Built in 1942 in Launceston, the SV Rona H started its life as a private fishing vessel. After passing through the hands of several owners, it eventually came into the possession of Julie Porter and Charles Burns in 2014, who restored the ship to its former glory. Porter and Burns also established Heritage Sailing Tasmania, a not-for-profit organisation to operate the ship with an all-volunteer crew. Today, Heritage Sailing Tasmania operates weekend sailing experiences along the Derwent River.
We've got 6 sails on board. We're a gaff-red ketch, so one of the things that we do love to show off to the guests is setting as many sails as possible. So when it's less than 15 knots, when it's not too breezy, we'll have all 6 sails set, which is what you've got today. The guests can assist if they want, but the biggest thing for the guests is making sure that they do get the full experience of being under sail on a historic tall ship.
The SV Rona H was built from hewn pine, which is regarded by many as the best quality timber for shipbuilding in the world. It only grows in the wet, temperate rainforests of southwest Tasmania.
For us, conservation is huge. We're all about marine conservation, making sure that there's no plastics in the ocean, there's no single-use plastic on board. We've had the vessel just on 8 years and we've refuelled 6 times, and that's because we do set sail as much as possible.
I think that's an interesting thing.
This one piece will make 52 layers.
Watch on mobile devices or the big screen, all for free. No subscription required.
One of the most famous landmarks that the SV Rona H visits is the Iron Pot Lighthouse at the mouth of the Derwent River. It's the oldest lighthouse in Tasmania and the second oldest in all of Australia. Constructed in 1832 following a number of shipwrecks in the area, the lighthouse was originally built and operated with the assistance of convict labour. Today, it's operated automatically using solar power. The heartbeat of the Rona H is its volunteer crew.
So all our crew are volunteers. We've got 30 volunteers in total. Some of the crew are doing maritime qualifications, so they actually gain maritime skills by the sailing with us and getting their sea time. Some are doing base level boat licences, some are doing coxswains, and we have 3 people currently doing their Master 5 so they can become a skipper of a commercial vessel. And we can't do what we do without our volunteer crew.
The Southwest Wilderness Experience is a 3-day luxury camping adventure by Par Avion. Departing from the Cambridge Aerodrome, guests are flown to an eco-lodge on the shores of Bathurst Harbour.
We stay at the only licensed commercial camp in the southwest of Tasmania, and we tailor our tours to what the guests would like to see.
Nestled deep within Tasmania's largest national park, the southwest consists of jagged mountain ranges, button grass moorlands and primeval forests. At 170 square kilometres, the Bathurst Harbour Marine Reserve is 3 times the size of Sydney Harbour. Here, there are no roads leading in or out, just untouched wilderness for hundreds of kilometres in every direction.
One of the biggest benefits of coming down to the Southwest Wilderness Camp is that you have nothing to distract you. You just have the peace and the tranquility of the wilderness. We use guides with vast experience. We tailor the trips each day to the needs of our guests. Some of the walks are short, some are extended. And some people want to see more of the ocean. We just work to the needs of the guests.
The landscape also reveals a fascinating geological history.
We'll come across ancient rock forms that are actually up to 600 million years old, and it's that old that it doesn't even have any fossil life in it. No single cell form were around the world at that time.
To ensure that this beautiful corner of Tasmania is protected for generations to come, Par Avion has committed to a philosophy of minimal impact.
Par Avion in the Southwest Wilderness Camp has National Ecotourism accreditation, and we take very seriously our footprint, and we use all sustainable principles on camp. So we have independent sleeping pods provided with linen and doonas so you don't get cold. We have hot showers, we have dining facilities and a full serviceable kitchen.
With all meals prepared by staff, The only thing guests need to worry about is connecting with the rugged majesty of southwest Tasmania.
We find it is incredibly privileged to be able to show people these wilderness areas, and when people do get immersed into these wilderness areas, they often find another level of thinking and awareness that they didn't realise existed.
Just a 30-minute drive north of Tasmania's capital of Hobart, we arrive at Bonorong Wildlife Sanctuary. Part animal hospital, part wildlife reserve. Here you can get up close and personal with over 25 species of fauna native to Tasmania.
The sanctuary has been here since 1981, so it's older than I am, but over time has really evolved to be very different to a wildlife park. We're a sanctuary for animals that need assistance and a place to live, and we run the main rescue service and only wildlife hospital in the state.
Bonorong Wildlife Sanctuary opened its doors to the public in 1981. The name Bonorong is derived from an Indigenous word meaning native companion.
One big difference that our guests are always noting is our really specific focus on Tasmanian wildlife. We're so lucky to have this incredible array of species that are only in Tassie, nowhere else in the world. So with that comes an incredible opportunity to experience animals that are nowhere else, but also a really important job to keep these ones safe and make sure they don't join an ever-growing list of extinct species around the world.
Bonorong also operates Tasmania's largest 24-hour animal rescue service. This service provides care to thousands of animals every year.
Our most important function, and something we're just so proud of, is the work we do with injured wildlife. We are the main people to call anywhere around the state when an animal needs help. Our number one aim is to get animals back out there, not in here. We consider our visitors coming through as basically donators to the wildlife's cause. The funds that they pay in entry fees are what allow us to save so many animals and help so many animals in need.
For Greg Irons and his team, the opportunity to provide up-close and personal experiences with wildlife is a powerful tool to educate guests about the challenges that these animals face in their natural habitat.
I think one of the most beautiful things about meeting wildlife, and especially in such a close-up setting like you get at Bonorong, is getting to see them so intimately and so closely, seeing their little movements and hearing the little sounds that they make. We just love seeing that connection between wildlife and people. We have a really unique opportunity to share them with everyone who comes through our gates and hopefully inspire them to maybe just change a couple of things in their everyday life to help animals either here in Tasmania or animals in their own backyard.
Towering above the city of Hobart is Mount Wellington, also known as Kunanyi by the Indigenous Palawa people. Rich in wildlife and blanketed in alpine forests, Kunanyi offers an extensive network of walking tracks for visitors to lose themselves and connect with nature.
My name's Andy Crawford. I'm the owner of Walk on Kunanyi. We offer small group guided day walks of the mountain that celebrate much more than the views, all the hidden trails, all the huts, all the amazing endemic local plants, flora and fauna. And we sort of really push the connection to nature. I think it's something people are craving more than ever.
Kunanyi was formed by volcanic activity over 135 million years ago. According to Palawa tradition, Kunanyi is a sacred place where ancestral spirits are laid to rest.
Kunanyi is incredibly steep from sea level all the way through to the alpine zone, nearly 1,300 metres above sea level. And because of that, it has a really broad range of landscapes and environments. So dry eucalypt forest, wet forest, and we've got these little rainforest gullies as well. And these amazing dolerite landscape, the iconic organ pipes that you can see from the city. So by visiting and exploring all the mountain, you're getting a real snapshot and taster of a lot of what broadly Tassie's wilderness has to offer.
For Andy and his team, conservation is at the forefront of everything they do.
Walk on Kunanyi has built sustainability into its business model from day one. It's about every customer being able to help preserve Tasmania's wild places through a donation, through every ticket that's bought, and also about being carbon positive, about ultimately removing carbon from the atmosphere over time.
One of the more extreme experiences offered by Walk on Kunanyi is a plunge into the freezing waters that filter down the mountain. To prepare for the icy encounter, a guide leads the tour group through a series of controlled breathing exercises. Then comes the moment of truth. After a rejuvenating dip in the mountain water, Andy leads the group to a private hut off-trail where guests can warm up and reflect on their experiences.
I often ask my guests something right at the end, which is, what surprised you the most? And a couple of common things come through. One is that I didn't realise how close wilderness was to Hobart's back door. And the other one is I didn't realise how much variation and stories there are on this amazing little bit of wilderness. The views are famous and awesome, but I tell you what, the hidden little treasures elsewhere are even better.
From the soaring peaks of Kunanyi to the icy depths of the Tasman Sea, Tasmania continues to captivate travellers with a spirit of adventure. It is truly an ancient land, untamed and unspoiled.